Good news from China, everybody. We got 11,700 deliveries. And if you look at the previous quarters, this week is by far clearly the best week. And that actually makes it the best third week of a quarter in Tesla China history. So the number is definitely strong. So that post from before actually did turn out to be somewhat bullish. Tesla has reportedly appointed a new person as their new country manager for Mexico. Don't let her good looks fool you. She actually has quite a bit of experience working for some big companies. This is translated from Spanish to English with Google Translate, but I think she's a chemical engineer as well, which is quite interesting. Maybe with her being appointed, we will also see some faster progress in Mexico for Tesla to build its factory. I also found her LinkedIn, and it seems to me that she was specifically hired from outside to lead Tesla in Mexico, so she did not work at Tesla before. She left this company, which was valued at $5 billion, which is a Colombian on-demand delivery startup, but it is available in many countries if you go south. Think of it as food delivery through DoorDash meets Instacart, which is like groceries being delivered or anything delivered from any physical store that you can just go by yourself and buy the stuff yourself. But instead, with Instacart, you just get someone else to go buy the thing for you and deliver it to you within an hour. And for this company, she was a country manager specifically in Mexico. If Tesla chose her, I am sure she's very capable. Because also, if you look at her resume, she got promoted really fast from a regional general manager to a country manager. It happened within 18 months. So it seems to me that she's going to do a pretty good job. Toyota chairman, Toyota believes battery electric vehicles will reach at most 30% market share, with the rest taken up by hybrids, hydrogen fuel cell, and fuel burning cars. Oh boy, says Elon Musk. A deep sigh. You know, Toyota lives in a seriously different world. It's almost as if everything is seriously, completely different from what it actually is. Maybe in some other parallel universe, this would be the right approach. Not in this one. Tesla has posted quite a few open jobs related to semi-production. Alexander Mers counted 86 new jobs posted by the Tesla semi department. We already saw some groundwork, so these job postings coming right after seeing these groundworks, to me, all of this says that Tesla is definitely planning to produce the semi in high volume, which I never doubted, but some Tesla bears said, oh, the Tesla semi is just basically a prototype product that Tesla is not serious about. The bears also said the same thing about the Cybertruck, and look at it now. Deliveries are happening and production is increasing. A few Tesla Cybertrucks are actually touring China right now. The trucks will appear in 8 different cities across the country. Here's the list of the cities. If you have any Chinese friends, let them know. I have some in Shanghai, actually. I've been to Shanghai. I enjoyed it quite a bit. The culture, though, is so different from anything you will see in Europe or North America that if you have not been there and only heard about it, you won't really have a full and deep understanding of the culture and the country. I have been to over 20 countries, and most Americans have not traveled anywhere. If you are an American, I highly suggest that you at least travel to Europe, or if you want to go to Asia, but maybe you don't want to go to mainland China, then at least go to Taipei. I actually have spent quite a bit of time in Taipei. Foreigners are extremely welcome there. Anyway, Tesla's strategy here is to get people to come to see the Cybertruck in China, but at the same time, test drive other Tesla's vehicles. FSD V12 has this pretty cool feature, which will really help, I think, in transition zones where the car in the past hasn't really adjusted its speed well enough. Sawyer is experiencing this problem. I had this issue where, anytime you transition to a different speed zone, usually the transition, sometimes it's fine, but more often than not, I have to change the speed manually a little bit. So automatic set speed offset allows autopilot to drive at the speed that it determines is most natural. Also, in the past maybe 2 months, I have been seeing more people complain about Tesla's nag. It appears to me that the regulators that made Tesla increase the frequency of the nags, all of that seems to be a bit counterproductive. Tomorrow, Tesla reports its earnings, and the street is actually expecting Tesla to report higher EPS on Wednesday than it did in Q3. Now, for those of you who are new Tesla stock investors, usually, often, not always though, Tesla stock drops after Tesla reports its earnings, or when anything major is announced during major events like the investor day. It is definitely not a given that Tesla stock will drop tomorrow, but I'm just saying I certainly will not be surprised even if Tesla beats the earnings estimates and the stock drops anyway. However, often when that happens, Tesla stock had already gone up in the days and weeks before the event. But that is not the case this time. Tesla stock did not go up at all. In this case, it actually dropped in the last few weeks. But in the long term, none of this matters. What matters is Tesla's next generation vehicle, 4680 batteries, Tesla's FSD, Tesla's energy business, the Cybertruck, and now many say the Tesla bot has a lot of potential. Many Tesla stock investors actually are now thinking that Tesla will start making significant money from the Tesla bot before it does from FSD. Because for FSD to work, it has to be pretty much perfect. If it makes a mistake, that means someone dies. But for the Tesla bot to be useful, it can make mistakes and no one is gonna die, hopefully. For example, if it folds your laundry and it drops something every 20 seconds, but then picks it up and then eventually it does everything okay, no one's gonna die. It's gonna take a bit more time for the bot to do the laundry. And I think these are pretty good points. I think when Elon gets his new compensation package, we will probably start hearing a lot about the Tesla bot. Oh, it seems like the refreshed Model 3 Performance, specifically the Performance one, has a new exterior design. Okay, so someone sort of figured out what the changes are going to be and created a render. I looked at these two pictures for about 5 seconds, and I was like, aren't these two the same car? Turns out, no, they're not the same car. Supposedly, this one is the new Performance one. That's a render, so we don't know for sure if it looks like this, but yeah, here you go. I basically see almost no differences. Tesla Model 3 Highland orders in the US now have new delivery days, January 25th to February 8th. So deliveries are beginning now pretty much. This is extremely fitting. Sounds like Cybertruck owners might soon get metal key cards instead of plastic ones. I think maybe Tesla should do that for all of its premium vehicles, so for the Model S and X, and definitely for the Cybertruck. Typically, from my personal experience with FSD, if there is a parked car and FSD needs to drive around it, it's very jittery and it's very uncomfortable for the driver usually. But check this out. This is smooth as butter. I don't have my hopes high for this public release, but what I'm looking forward to is how fast will each iteration come out and how much will it improve between iterations. Tesla chief designer did a quick interview in Shanghai. He didn't really say anything new here, but he did say that trucks right now are kind of boring. Having somebody bold like Elon is really the power behind being able to do that, to have these radical designs. So certainly he's behind Elon 100%. James is warning that this will trigger some people. Being more profitable while accomplishing the mission actually accelerates the mission. Legacy Auto is slowing down its EV production and launch plans. Panasonic is delaying investments in new battery factories. Tesla has delayed Giga Mexico. Why? because there is less money to be made. Because value has been destroyed. Why? Because instead of educating the consumer about why they need to buy an EV instead of a gas-powered vehicle, the market leader has cratered asset values, allows EV FUD to run rampant unabated, and has created a price war that benefits no one, except consumers that have a brain and do a tiny little bit of research into which car they should buy. Because as long as you can charge at home, buying an EV, if it's in your purchase price range, that's the only logical option, really. If it's all about the mission mostly, I think it would make sense to educate the buyers, to let them know that Teslas are actually much better than gas-powered vehicles, as long as these people can charge at home. If you cannot charge at home, then I would not get an EV yet. I had a friend who did that, and she lived in an apartment. She sold her Tesla. Maybe in 5 years, 7 years or so, even if you cannot charge at home, then maybe it will make sense to buy an EV regardless whether you can charge at home, because charging speeds by then will be significantly faster. And on top of that, there will be more charging stations everywhere. Because currently, for my friend, it was not so much the issue of charging for 30 minutes at the supercharger, it was the additional 15 minutes that you had to drive to the supercharger, and then another 15 minutes to drive back from the supercharger. So it was an errand that would take at least an hour every single week. Another downside of that I observed is I've seen people say things like, well, if I own a Tesla and I live in an apartment, I have to charge a supercharger. Let's say I don't mind charging it at the supercharger. I don't mind spending all of that time every single week. But if I decide to go on a road trip suddenly because my friends invited me to go somewhere, but my battery is only at 30% currently, it means by the time you would arrive, you would have missed out on some of the fun because you spent 30 minutes charging, 40 minutes charging maybe, depending on how far you need to drive. All of this is going to change because charging speeds are going to get faster, and most apartment complexes will have EV chargers. So it's only a temporary problem. Tesla has added the Powerwall to the referral program. You get 9,000 credits if you refer someone. The buyer using your code gets $500 off. Tesla released this new Optimus humanoid robot picture. The robot is actually now a pretty good looking robot. Ooh, Germany's auto industry outrun by Tesla to axe thousands more jobs. If Tesla did not do these huge price cuts earlier, I don't think we would have really been seeing so many things like this, because it just makes harder for other automakers to transition to EVs, because they cannot, some of them, see the light at the end of the tunnel because they think, oh, Tesla is just gonna cut prices further. So I do not agree that there are no benefits of Tesla cutting prices. It really hurts the competition badly. It hurts Tesla in the short term too, but if in the long term that gives Tesla more market share, you can make an argument it's worth it. BYD though is doing pretty well. BYD overtakes Volkswagen's 15-year run as the top seller in China. So this is a bit funny. Mr. B said, I'm gonna give 10 random people that repost this and follow me $25,000 for fun. He made $250,000 from the X video that he posted. And that video got over 100 million views. This post already got 100 million views. So if CPMs are the same for this post, which I don't think it should be the same because this is not a video, but if the CPM, how much he makes per 1,000 views, is the same here, then he could be making more than $250,000 just from this one post saying that he's giving away $250,000. Almost sounds like an infinite money glitch. You post that you're giving money away, and then you make more money than how much you're giving away just from the post that says you're giving money away. Omar just drove curb to curb with 0 interventions, which is of course pretty impressive. Pretty much every single version of FSD looks fairly good in Omar's vehicle, so I'm not going to make any conclusions from this. But if he does post like a 3-hour video with no interventions driving inside the city, that would be pretty crazy. BYD teases a new compact SUV which could arrive priced below $15,000. So that's a story to follow. Someone counted the number of Cybertrucks in the outbound lot and the number was 21. I think not too long from now, we will have the first day with 100 Cybertrucks. That will be a nice day. I liked this post from Sawyer. You can now test drive, order, take delivery, and service a Tesla depending on the type of maintenance, all without interacting with a single human in person. Is there a better car brand for an introvert? If I'm hanging around people that I know very well, I'm more extroverted. If I'm around people I don't know, I'm usually more introverted. Generally speaking, if I am tired, even if I'm around people that I know very well, I'm not saying anything. I'll just keep my mouth shut the whole time. I found this, which shows the sizes of Tesla's factories and how they compare to each other. Interesting how Giga Shanghai makes the most vehicles, but relatively speaking, it's fairly small compared to Giga Texas. And like and subscribe if you haven't yet. My name is Matt Posius, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.